Hello everyone and welcome. I'm VelvettB and thanks for joining me today for this Halloween speed build. That was supposed to be a spooky voice. I'm sorry. So we are building a vampire tiny home. So this is not just for any ordinary vampire. This is for a vampire that loves pink. So I ended up, okay, start at the beginning, Velvets. So I decided that once I finished the landscaping, I kind of decided that I wanted to go in a completely different, well, not a completely different direction, but in a different color direction. So you'll see me do the landscaping and then you'll see me at the end changing the landscaping. And you'll also see me changing the lot. I think I changed it a couple of times. Because I think I started on this lot and then I was like, nah, it's too small. And then I changed it to the bigger lot. Then I was like, started building and it was like, no, that's too big. And so I went back to this lot and it ended up being the right size. Yeah, because I started yeah. I looked at the lot and I was like, oh, nah, it's too small. But I was forgetting that, of course, I was doing a tiny home, which is tiny. So I had more room than I thought I would. So I'm just doing something a little sneaky as far as building extra areas, but I'm not using any flooring tiles. So it's just kind of a roofed area without the flooring tiles. Sorry, the actual flooring. It's got flooring tiles, not the flooring that counts as flooring. Did that make any sense whatsoever? Flooring that acts as flooring. I knew what I was trying to say because there's like floor tiles that count as floor tiles. And then there's the flooring which don't count as floor tiles, if that makes sense, if you just put them on the ground. So that's what I'm doing. Is I'm adding flooring with a roof, but not actual floor tiles that count as actual floor tiles for a tiny home. Good Lord. I do not know if that made any sense. I really, really hope it did. I'm very sorry. So I'm working on just basically giving myself a tiny home, but with sneaky extra bits of space by adding these little areas. So we've got the little pergola there at the back, and then I'm just creating like a little porch area around the front in a little octagonal style shape. I'm just sitting there thinking, is it an octagonal shape? How many sides does it have? It's something like that. Pentagramminal? Is that a word? Pentagonal is the word. I'm having a mare. Welcome to this nightmare speed build voiceover where Velvet talks absolute nonsense and has no idea what words are. Ah, dear. So I'm on to roofing. Always fun. So I created this shaped tiny home, and then I've had so many regrets. I was like, why did I make it such a difficult shape to roof? I don't know. I just make it hard on myself. It's just the way that I am. So I ended up changing that back little area over because the roofing was just going to be horrendous on that. And then I think I actually moved maybe a side part as well. I'm sure I moved one part of that. I could be wrong on that. Just to help this make not look weird and stupid, as you do. It's just an evolving thing, and because I wasn't doing a shell challenge or anything like that, I could evolve it the way that I wanted to. I kind of, sometimes, I don't know if you guys do this, right? But sometimes I do like the shell of the build, and then once it's done, I kind of feel like I have to stick to that shape. And I don't know why, because I don't have to. I can change it. You can see me like I'm about to delete that thing because I'm trying to work out how to do it. And I'm deleting it. I'm just like, nah, it's going. It's gone. Because it's just one of those. I got to the point where I realized I do not have to keep it this way. There are no rules here. I can build this however I like, and yet I am making it incredibly difficult on myself. So this is me hitting that realization point where I do not have to make it difficult. I can just delete it and reshape it to make it easier. So that's what I did. And please remember that when you are building, don't make it difficult on yourself for no reason. Make it easier. You will appreciate it. I promise. So you can sort of see the shape of the building and how it is coming together. So I'm using the castle estate windows, which look fantastic on a Gothic build because, you know, the castle is the original Gothic build, right? The castle is a Gothic sort of style. So, you know, the castle estate windows just, oh, on that little tower area, beautiful. Love it. And then I am working on the landscaping. So what I was thinking about with the landscaping in the window, in the rest of the windows, I am using the vampire pack. Obvious, you know, obvious go-to for this build is the vampire windows. But the castle estate windows, they work so well with those, with that sort of tower as well. So I am doing sort of the ivy and bits and pieces. I will skip over some little bits and pieces here where I was fussing around with the landscaping because I end up deleting a lot of it and changing that over at the end of the video anyway. So I was like, you know what, we won't watch every single thing that I did. But I am using the red ivy, which I do really like, and I do like for a Gothic style build. And then I brought in the red bushes as well. And again, I do like that combination of the red ivy and the red bushes as well. It is a nice combination, but when I get to the interior, I realized that the vampire actually likes pink. And then when I got to the end of the build, it just, yeah, it didn't work. It wasn't as good as it could have been. So why did that suddenly get darker? Oh, that's right. Because I was using, because it was in Forgotten Hollow, I think I was using one of my brighter lighting reshades because it was quite dark and I wanted everybody to be able to see it. So I think there was a moment where I accidentally turned my reshade off and it was like so dark. So part of this build is I'm going to there's a little bit more of a story actually here. So I'm doing like a graveyard. So the story that kind of evolved with this build is that the vampire that lives here, the vampire who likes pink, is also a black widow. So these are the graves of her past lovers, and she leaves like little gifts on each of the graves for her past lovers. And, you know, just little mementos of things that meant something to them in their relationship. So, you know, she's a sentimental black widow vampire who likes pink. These little complicated little stories that come out. So you'll see I'm really going with red on the exterior at this point, because I hadn't really thought about what she liked color-wise until I got into the interior, and then it occurred to me that she liked pink. So whoopsie daisies. I think about it before you do the landscaping, Velvet. That might help. Anyway, you know what I discovered after, or I think I knew about it, but I've forgotten about it, was that there is a debug grave in the vampires pack. And when I went back and did the landscaping, one thing that I found, I decided I wanted to have like a little dirt pile. So I actually ended up using in Cottage Living, there's actually a debug dirt. There might be some other packs that have debug dirt as well, but I knew that Cottage Living did. So I went back to Cottage Living in the debug and added like the piles of dirt from Cottage Living and did that as a representation of the grave. And then a little bit, like a couple of weeks later, I was doing another Halloween style build and I realized and discovered that there was in fact grave dirt in Vampires in Debug in already handily shaped grave shapes. And I was like, because I don't always use a lot of the decorative items from Debug. I use the plants all the time, but the other Debug I only use sporadically. if that makes sense. So like landscaping stuff, yes, all the time, but some of the little, cute little debug items, there are a few things that I'll use all the time, but mostly I don't use it a lot. So I don't know debug as well as I probably could or should. I am slowly getting better with it. I can see some vines inside the house. But yeah, it's just one of those areas where I don't, yeah, I like to use items that have value in the build. I think I ended up getting rid of the cobwebs as well because I decided I didn't want to have it all cobwebby. Because it's not a rundown build at all. It is a maintained build because the Black Widow lives there. It's just a little bit creepy because she's a Black Widow and likes to keep the graves of her former conquests around. That's all. Perfectly normal. As you do for a Halloween build. But I did want to actually include like some little romantic spots as well because, she is a Black Widow. She's always on the hunt for another fella or another partner. And yeah, so she needed to have like little romantic areas. So this is where I'm starting to evolve the color scheme of the build. And that is going with sort of black, white, and pink, I believe. Let's see how this sort of turns out, but I'm pretty sure that is the case. I was initially going to do that as a dining nook. Then I was like, oh, I don't really like that as a dining nook. And remember, this is a tiny home, so there isn't heaps of space on the interior. I do need to be careful with where and how I place things because it is not super roomy. It is I think, what does that say? Like 90 something tiles. So it's not a micro home, but it is a tiny home. So I don't have an excess of space available. It is a 1 bedroom. I think it's 1 bathroom. Let me think. I'm pretty sure it's 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom. Could be wrong. Pretty sure it is though. So this is me going through and trying to find a pink that I like for the kitchen. Easier said than done. It took me ages. I had to cut out a whole heap of me just going through and working through different pink swatches trying to find something that I like. There's a real lack of pink kitchen options. Can I just mention that? So this is a modern she's a modern vampire as well. She likes modern things. So it is modern on the interior, black and pink and white, as I mentioned. So, she's up to date with styles and trends and she does like pretty things, a real lovely, lovely vampire, except for the fact that she likes to kill her spouses. All perfectly normal. So I'm just doing a cute little kitchen island, just an intimate little dining area for two because, it's always just her and her partner having time. Although I guess she would entertain every now and then with a larger party, but that's what the table outside is for out the back. There's a larger dining table out the back for when she decides that she's going to have a bit more of a party and have a few people over, maybe, and having a mix at a meet and greet and meet some new fellas to add to her list. So it is coming together slowly but surely. I am evolving that little corner area that's going to be our living room. Again, just like thinking about little intimate parts or sections in the build where she can sit there and maybe snuggle with her boo. That was kind of all the little things that I was thinking about. It was supposed to be, have a romantic vibe to it if you take away the the grave out the front. Ignore that as you're coming in. She tells her guys that it is an ancestral home, so they're like, oh yeah, but no, it's not. She lied. She lied. Naughty Black Widow vampire. How dare she? But yeah, super cute. I love the pink and the black. I think that's a really lovely combination. I don't know if that's to everybody's taste, but I do like it, me personally. So this is downstairs, the bathroom. I think I snuck that in under the stairs and behind the stairs. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where I snuck it in. So pretty simple and basic because there isn't a whole lot of room in there for stuff. But I managed to fit in, I believe, a shower and a bath. There was space for that. I play tested it as well, and it all worked space-wise. So, hey, if you can make it work, you make it work. And again, just sticking with the pink and the black and the white and little touches of gold with the flooring as well. I do love that flooring from Cozy Bistro. It is so pretty. So that is our downstairs done. So we're now moving upstairs. I did, in that little tower area, I ended up changing that again because I did have it shut off with a door, and then I opened it up, but you'll see that again shortly. And then this room evolved quite a bit as well, as far as like the wallpaper and stuff. Yeah, there it is, it's going in there. I ended up using the Love Struck wallpaper, the bed, the side table, and the rug. It just seemed absolutely perfect for a woman who is bent on seducing people to have like the Love Struck stuff, right? Because it's all about getting romantic. So yeah, that's the route I went. And I mean, oh, which curtains are those? I want to say it's a stuff pack, something random like the movie stuff pack or something. I forget. I did initially put the easel there. I ended up taking it out because I was like, you know what, this is more of a home where the people that come into it don't really get to see the real her, except for this little room here, which does show off her love of reading and having a peaceful evening at home with a really good book and a nice cup of tea or something like that, or a cup of blood. I say that and it suddenly gets a whole lot less nice. A nice cup of blood. Oh yeah. Ah. So yeah, just made this a little bit more cluttered, a little bit more like this is the space that she likes to chill out in. And she loves her books, and maybe her whole Black Widow thing is because she has a book addiction and she needs to pay for books. And you know what? Books are not expensive, not cheap these days. So, she needs a bit of cash to be able to keep on top of her habit. And well, I'm sorry, fellas, but you get the brunt of the the outcome of that, which is you guys marry her and then you die. So this is the section where I am just going to change the landscaping and go full pink. So the items that I could keep, that I could change to pink, I did, and the bits and pieces that I couldn't change were yeeted right out the door. So it's like, yep, I don't need you anymore. See you later. But I did add a few little bits and pieces here and there, like I added that rug, and then I sort of added like a few of the pink trees around, just to add to that whole pink vibe. And I think it came out super cute in the end, just with like the pink vines and stuff going up the side of the building. Something a little bit different for a Halloween build anyway, because I do have another one coming out in the next few days, and I've gone in the opposite kind of direction with that one, where it's less cute vampire with a twist and more airy. So yeah, this is sort of coming to the end of that. So I'm using the romantic stuff pack flowers around the edge of the build, just to again add more of the pink on the windows, pink along the edges, and then using the pink vines up the side as well. So it's all coming together. It's all coming up pink, She loves the pink, and I wanted to bring that in to the build. I don't think I needed to change much else to really make that work. I think that sort of came together pretty nicely as far as getting the color of it changed over anyway. So I think that was a nice and a good change. And it all made the build a whole lot more cohesive in the end, which was the whole point of it. So that the outside kind of matched the inside a little bit more. And this is me putting that grave dirt on, and then, yeah. Not long after that, discover the whole grave dirt and debug and vampires. And I don't know why I didn't look at that. I just didn't. I don't know. It's going to be great when we get the life and death pack and we can actually make proper graveyards. I also made it hard on myself because I did this on a slope and some of it like ended up like some of the dirt ended up floating and it wasn't working very well. So, you know, made it hard on myself, but when don't I do that? So this is how the builder turned out, and I think it's actually gonna be really interesting when we do get the life and death pack and we have graveyards and being able to add to the vampire forgotten hollow world with, you know, proper graveyards and mausoleums and, you know, that sort of thing. I think that's going to be really cool. So this is the little book nook area, and I think that is super cute and very her. And then upstairs in the bedroom, I don't know if I fixed the ceiling or not. I'm pretty sure I didn't. But at least I remembered all the things that I needed, I hope, like the rubbish bins and, you know, that sort of thing. So this is the downstairs area, very sweet with all the pink and the black. You would not suspect she was about to poison you and do some nefarious things, as you do. Anyway, I wanted to wish you all a happy Halloween, and thanks so much for watching. I will catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.